You're now watching Lena Blue TV.
Trigga Tray, what's up, man?
What's going on? What's
How
going
you
on? Doing well. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Thank you for
for
coming.
sure.
Thank you for coming. So, originally you started playing drums when?
I started playing drums in 2012, basically in high school. It started off as more so like drumline.
Yeah.
My fascination with that. Then I was playing drumline for all of high school, essentially, and then started moving on to different type of instruments because I didn't want to just be known for just drumline stuff. I actually wanted to get into hand percussion and things like that and other stuff.
But you're really good. You started off in high school, normally, because me, I played drums. I played drums in middle school, but I wasn't as good as you are today. But I would imagine that, you know, some people would start off young, but you started off in high school.
Right.
And so how was that? How was that for you? Just drumline, just period. Like, was it exciting for you, or was it like?
It was a great experience. It definitely taught me a lot. Like, that was my first team activity. I mean, a lot of people that was around me, they played sports, you know, they did other things. But that was what I kind of gravitated towards because, I mean, how it started was one of my good friends. I was literally just kind of going to class, going home, you know, wasn't really involved in anything. And then when my friends like, yo, come by band practice or whatever, and I saw what they got going on, I remember moving drumline, I was like, yo, like, you know, this might be something I can do. Yeah. So I ended up picking up the sticks. Well, actually, I started off on a bass drum for the first year. And then while I was playing, I was just working my way to be on the snare line. And the next year I made snare line, became captain, and did all that. I marched at my university as well. I went to FAU, so I marched there for 3 years. And I started wanting to do stuff on my own as well. So I didn't want to have to just be tied to being in drumline to do stuff. So that's when I started looking into other different forms of drumming. Right.
So why did you gravitate more towards snare drum versus the bass drum?
I just really like it. I think it's just the sound that it makes, the way that you can do different tricks and stuff like that, the way that you can drum to it to like different music and stuff. Yeah. I think that's what really kind of gravitated towards me.
Do you have like a favorite cadence or a favorite song that you love to play on snare?
Oh, if you're talking about like drumline stuff, favorite cadence would be this cadence called Stick Control. Shout out to Bethune. That's where it came from, but we used to play that in high school a lot.
Stick Control.
Yeah. So all I know is definitely came from Bethune and drumline cultures, especially in high school. They take a lot of their cadences from like the major universities, especially like, you know, the black universities, you know, the FAMUs, the Bethunes, you know, even outside of Florida or whatever. So we was playing that in high school, and I just remember that was one of the first cadences I kind of like learned to its fullness. And yeah, that's really made me want to do more with it, you know. So now I even make videos sometimes with me just drumming on the snare drum to different music and stuff like that. Right. And yeah, it's been great so far.
Right. So what type of people do you attract just with snare drum alone?
Oh, well, snare drum, usually just the drum community. If we were talking about collaborations, just the drum community, like people who actually do exactly what I do, which is like playing snare to music. So shout out to my dude, G Chops. We do a lot of collaborations, and Caleb, he goes by Honcho Beats. He's a producer now and stuff. But we also that's who I kind of started with as far as with the drumming stuff. So yeah.
Right. How is snare drum relevant today? I know it's relevant like in college and high school, middle school, things like that. But what can you do now that you're out of school?
So I think now I use it as a way to my form of expression in a sense. So if there's a song I'm really feeling, I can just drum to it, or I could even make like a message with it. Like I literally just dropped a video with all that's going on in the world and all the political unrest and all the unfair treatment that we be getting as Black people. I wanted to make a video that kind of display that, but with my art form. So I made a video to Kendrick Lamar's "All Right," and I had like a little, symbolic message in there as well. So it can be used in that type of form as well, where it's not just actually just playing to music. I can actually make a production out of it and actually make a message out of it as well.
Right. So now you're utilizing an instrument. It's called
cajon. It's a cajon. Yeah.
So how did you pick that up? What is that and how?
Right. So I actually have it right here if you mind. Yeah. So this is a cajon. Well, the regular cajon is just a big box that you will sit on. You will play, while you're sitting on it. But this version is made by Minor Percussion. It's a slap top cajon, so it has 3 different tones. It has a slap, the open, and the bass. And with that, I make different type of hip hop beats and things like that. And this really started from one day I was in, I don't know if it was a Guitar Center or Sam Ash, but I was just in there just playing around in the percussion section. And I was like, I kind of want to be known for more than just drumline stuff. I actually want to be a percussionist, because there's a difference between a drummer who plays one type of drum and a percussionist who can take any type of drum and then apply the same rhythms, learn different type of rhythms and put it on and actually make something cohesive. So that's what made me want to pick it up. And then after that, I created a series out of it, which is pretty interesting. It's called Drum Cypher.
Yeah, so tell us about that, Drum Cypher.
Okay, so Drum Cypher is basically a platform that I created using this drum, where I give local artists the opportunity to get on and either rap, sing, poetry, do whatever they want, and accompanied by this drum. And what's unique about it is that it gives a very authentic, a lot of acoustic sounds to whatever song they have, or if they just want to freestyle, or however they want to express themselves just with this drum. And I think it's great because it's intimate. It's just me, that person, the words they want to say, and then me using my talent, and it's been great so far. And
how do you choose your locations?
Locations, they come in very different forms. Sometimes I just pull up to wherever they feel is is a good spot, because I like all my videos to look different. So me collaborating with different people, they probably know about different spots or different scenes or different vibes that kind of mesh well with what they're trying to convey. So I usually kind of put it in their hands of what they want to where they want to record. But sometimes I do have like things in mind, and it's just a collaboration thing, so it's all about collaboration in my eyes.
Right. So how do you set this up? Like, are you ever afraid to reach out to certain artists, or are you ever hesitant?
No, I'm never hesitant with it. I started off just doing local people that I know that rap, like my friends. Shout out to Wazzy Shade, Devin. He's the first person that was actually on this, because one day I was just playing and he was rapping, and we just made it happen. But since then, I kind of conquered my, inner circle of people that I know that rap, and then I started reaching out to different people, and everyone has been so receptive of it, because it's really just a genuine acoustic series, and it's why would you say no to that? What I'm saying? It's a different type of way to put out your music, put out your what you're saying.
Did you imagine that you would grow this way in the beginning?
Not to the point that it is now. 100+ artists later, been pretty much everywhere in South Florida with it. I've been seeing different scenes, and not only Broward, but Dade, Palm Beach. So I'd never imagined that it would actually get this far. But now that I see how people are gravitating towards, I definitely want to push it much further and kind of get it out of Florida. Go to different places and all that type of stuff. But once everything clears up, I'll definitely have a clear lane to go ahead and do that.
Right. So what's your goal? Your overall goal with the Cypher?
The overall goal is just collaboration, just to collaborate as many artists as possible, because I'm a very big appreciator of music. I've been loving music since I was young, you know, been knowing to lyrics to songs. Maybe I shouldn't have known the lyrics to ever since I was young, but like I just always had a knack for music, hip hop, not just hip hop, but like any type of music. So what I want to see this is, you know, on different type of genres. I want to collaborate with any type of people, you know, and a lot of them. So that's the goal, just collaborate.
Right.
Build that network.
So what's the most fun collaboration that you've had?
Whew.
Say top three.
Top three?
Yeah.
Top three?
Make it a
Top
little
three?
easier.
Top three? The first thing that came to my mind was the collaboration I did with King Hoodie. He's from Miami.
Yeah.
So that was a great production because we had to actually go through a lot to even get that, you know, done. We had to go through several changes of locations because we were trying to use one location, but you know, the cops was tripping, and then so we was, you know, it's past midnight. We walking around downtown Miami trying to figure out, you know, a good spot until we, you know, found this like little ducked off hallway that had like a street scene behind it. And when we just used that area, and it just made sense. And he's a dope artist, by the way. So it's always great when the artist is dope as well. So
Right.
Oh, so top three. My bad. That's one. So let's see. Man, I'm going through a lot of videos right now.
You said 100 plus.
100 plus. Yeah, 100 plus. So right now I'm even trying to.
You busy, man. You busy. How often like does this happen? You have the artist.
Well, I remember definitely before this whole coronavirus stuff, it was like I was multiple videos a week, like, you know, 3 or 4 videos a week.
Wow.
But when the whole coronavirus thing happened, that kind of slowed it down a little bit. But I did develop this series called Quarantine Cypher.
Yeah.
So it was the same type of concept, but like I made it into a FaceTime call.
Yeah.
So this is a way to transcend that barrier, which was not being able to be with a person. And I kind of want to continue that as well because there's probably some people that I can't reach, you know, on the other side of the country so readily, but I can still, you know, call them up like, hey, you know, let's do this. So
yeah. So how is that for you? Like, do you have any complications with FaceTime, like as far as connection or delays or anything like that?
No, I mean, I make it work. It's all about, you know, the post-production of it, but we always make it work.
Yeah.
Always make it work.
Who do you look forward to working with in the future?
Who do I want to look forward to working with? My favorite artist is Kendrick Lamar, so I'll always advocate to, you know, hey Kendrick, I know you kind of been, you know, off the scene, but hey man, I'm here to collaborate. But
off the scene right now?
I mean, just personally, I haven't seen him make any music in a while. I haven't even seen him like do any stuff. I know he has this creative company he's coming out with, but like I feel like even that might be a little channel to reach. But no, definitely like there's definitely some dope artists out there. I mean, the thing is about my series, it doesn't have to be people of, you know, big caliber, but I just try to collaborate with everyone because I think that everyone has something to say, and I definitely want to be a part of that collaboration.
Right. So when you set up these ciphers, how do you actually set them up? Do you just hit them up on Instagram, or are you like?
It comes from all. Yeah, it comes from all different forms. Like I have a lot of them come from DMs. Earlier, it was a lot of me reaching out to people, and you know, but you know, I'm grateful to have people even reaching out to me, like seeing that this worthy is something that they want to do. So, you know, they reach out to me, and we just, you know, make it work from there. I also have a active, you know, Trigga Tray email that people hit me up on as well. So, you know, any way to collaborate. Sometimes I'll even go to like a show or something because I always try to make sure I'm also active in the community, going to local shows. Shout out to Grip the Mic, which is actually takes place up here in West Palm.
Yes.
So I go to local shows like that. I find people find me. You know, so it's also not only on the web, but you know, in-person interactions. I come up with those as well.
Right. So how do you determine who you would like to work with? Is it anybody that's just
my only thing is I just want you to be serious about your craft. You know what I'm saying? That's all I ask. I don't ask you to be the most viewed person in the world. You can just be starting out, but I would just like to see that you're putting in work. Usually if I go to your Instagram page, right? And I don't see anything related to you doing what you say you're doing, like, you know, you rapping or you singing or you don't have any content out or you're, you know what I'm saying? Like at that point, it's like, okay, are you really serious about your craft? Not saying that that's the only way to validate it, but that's just how I kind of validate it, right, you know, off rip. But yeah, so as long as someone is serious about their craft, I'm open to collaborate.
Right. So where has drumming alone taken you, besides Florida alone?
Besides Florida alone, I've done some traveling. Well, this is more so drumline related. You know, I used to go to different, you know, states for competitions and things like that. I've done some like drumming videos in different places. Like I did a video in Las Vegas, but drumming didn't bring me to Las Vegas, but like I was in Las Vegas and I started drumming, you feel me? So I wanted it to be a part of my traveling as well. Yes. So when I travel, I want to make sure I do a couple of videos in each spot.
What's in the future for you, like the future, maybe like 15 years from now?
Oh, for sure. So outside of drumming itself, I want to get into audio production. So, you know, making beats and stuff like that. I've been doing that since high school as well, but not at a very frequent capacity. So I want to get better with that so I can actually, you know, have something to put out with that as well. So I want to see that as a way of collaboration. I want to see the drum cipher going strong. And I just want to keep building connections, you know, and being able to do live performances, meeting new people, and just seeing where it takes me, you know.
Right. And you said that you would like to collaborate with your beats.
Right.
What do you mean by that? Like collaborate with artists or collaborate with other beat makers or?
All of the above. Like there's something that I also want to start up, which is where I like similar to Drum Cypher, you're gonna see soon is a series I'm gonna do. I don't know what the name of it yet is, but it's gonna be mostly for the producers. So like, you know, they can send me a beat or whatever, or I can be in the studio with them while they're creating the beat, and then I'll be doing like snare drumming and stuff to it, and like, you know, recording and like the process of them making it, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's just the sky's the limit with it. So I have a lot of ideas I'm trying to, you know, make come to life, but definitely gonna be a lot more than just what you see right now.
Right. What does the word woke mean to you?
Woke means being conscious of, to me, I feel like it's being conscious of your surroundings and being conscious of how are you playing your role within society and how is society affecting you, being aware of that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think you have to know everything to be woke. You just have to be aware. I think it's also aware of what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Not just about what you know, but knowing that you don't have all the answers. Because some people will say that woke is like knowing everything, but I think it's also knowing that you don't know everything. So yeah, just being aware of what you know and what you don't know.
Right. And I feel like after you acknowledge that, you're capable of learning.
Yeah. And you have to be open-minded. You have to be able to see other perspectives, and whatever the topic is, you have to be able to see it from both sides. You have to be able to see different angles of it.
Right. So what's your take on protesting and the way that we choose to protest?
Well, I think everyone has the right to protest for sure, especially us in the Black community, because there's been a lot going on that's been underdressed for years. Like, I feel like this isn't new things that's happening. It's just that it's being captured on phones now. So now you can't tell me a different story because it's right here. And being able to see that, it just enrages people. And who am I to tell them what to do once they've hit that point? You know what I'm saying? Like you have to look at it as like, you can't constantly oppress people and then get mad when they react. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is it has to be a very like a centralized plan. It has to be like actionable. You can't just be a wildfire and just go out there and just, you know, fight fire with fire without any plan, because then you're not going to get anywhere. You have to be able to make change and actually do the things that's necessary to get the change to happen. So you have to look at what systems are in place right now that's keeping us, you know, oppressed, and how can we change it. So when that conversation happens, which has been happening, I feel like it's productive. So I feel like the protesting is productive, and I feel like what's going on is productive.
Are we able to get together and have this conversation?
Honestly, only God knows. I just feel like we're having that conversation, but it definitely has to be centered towards solutions. We know the problems. We know exactly what's going on. We've seen it. Like, you can't deny it. It's on camera. So like, what are we going to do about it? And that's And that's what it's going to boil down to.
And it's crazy how like we have the evidence, like you said, just on camera,
Right.
but it's still scrutinized, or it's still like, you know, they try to say, well, this happened or this didn't happen, so this is, you know, they try to justify. They try to justify what's there and what's happening, but we continue to ask them for help, and we continue to ask them for this, that, and everything else, but are we actually able to sit down and come together and create our own?
Right.
But how easy is that? You know, things have been burned down before, like Black Wall Street.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
So, are we discouraged? I don't know. It's like so many questions.
So many questions, and I feel like only God knows what's exactly going to happen with that. But you know, I really just pray for the world and the state it's in right now, because I mean, to see that over and over, and it's tiring. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are tired of it. But we have to put our heads together and think of a practical solution, for sure.
How do you feel as a Black man in this world today?
As a Black man in this world today, I feel like I definitely have to be on my P's and Q's more than anything, because I know that I'm already being counted against from the majority of the world. So, you know, everyone, especially, you know, Black men, Black women, we have to work, you know, X amount of times harder just to get to these same places in order to make that change. So, but it's something that we can't, right now it's something that we have to just recognize that we have to work hard. Like we have to do these things, and we have to get ourselves in a position where we can level the playing field, you know? So I'm just trying to do my part and just being the best version of me. So, and I feel like that's what people just got to focus on. Like, just be the best version of you in everywhere possible. You know, I'm talking about spiritually, economically, politically, being aware in all these situations. Be the best version of what you feel that you should be, and I think that you'll add on to the greater collection.
Now, I guess some would say that it's easier said than done. So how can you become the best version of you?
I would say being the best version of you is just eliminating those roadblocks that you place on yourself. So a lot of people are scared of greatness. A lot of people are scared to take those steps necessary. Like if you're someone that wants to get into, you know, law, you want to be the president. You want to, you know, so there's a way for you to do that. But like, you just have to be willing to take those steps. Sometimes I feel like we're literally our biggest roadblock. We know what we have to do to get where we need to go, but we just are complacent in doing it. So when you can wake up and know that you're contributing towards your goal every day, I feel like that you're actively being the best version of yourself.
Right. Black people, you have the Black man, you have the Black woman, you have brothers and sisters. How important is that community to just be together, actually sit down and talk? Because we have so many differences, but in reality we don't. Like it's kind of like we're going through the same thing. We kind of have like similar stories.
Right.
So it's like, how can we come together and just be that community, and hey, like just say, hey, brother, I love you, or sister, I love you, or you know. I
feel like it's just that, being just as easy as recognizing, like when you walk past a Black person, you know, knowing that this is a person that's going through similar trials and tribulations that you are, and just recognizing us as brothers and sisters, and just being kinder to each other, being more helpful, lending a helping hand, like, you know, getting them to a place that if you already went through those fires to get to a certain place and you have the knowledge, sharing that knowledge with that person to get them where they need to go as well, you know, sharing that compassion, that knowledge, because that's really where it's going to come down to, like us like, I feel like as people say, knowledge is power. So us being able to share that knowledge of what we've experienced so far, and the greatness that we've accomplished, and the trials that we've gone over, once we're able to share that knowledge with our people, then we'll become stronger and building that community and building that economic front.
Yeah, and I think we would definitely be further if we actually shared that information, because there's so much information that we have, but I guess we're holding on to it because we don't want to see the next person excel, or whatever the case may be. I don't know.
It's that crab in the bucket mentality where it's like, I don't know, for some reason, some people just don't want to see their fellow man succeed, but you got to realize, like, we've been counted against, so we're not going to get further until we work as a unit in this.
Yeah, so we're being counted against by one set of people and also our own set. So
yeah, and that's the hardest part, because that's where it really gets difficult, because not only do we have the outside world in, but we're not even together with ourselves. So just being able to collaborate and push each other and uplift each other, I think that would go a long way, especially with our position.
And where do we start? By saying what?
I think it literally starts on a day-to-day level. It's like, what do you choose to do on a day-to-day? Like, whether if you decide to start buying black, and supporting black businesses and stuff like that, that's a tangible change. That's a way that you can circulate the black dollar into the black community. That's a tangible thing that you can wake up and commit yourself to, on a day-to-day basis. You can start, like you said, just being kinder to each other, and sharing that knowledge, as I said before, and bringing people along and building empires. Like, a lot of times people want to do things for themselves. They want to, they have this great idea and they just want to like do it themselves. But like, if you reach out to someone and actually build on that idea, make a company out of it, make a business, and now you can compete with these Fortune 500 companies and offer the same product that they do, and or something of that variant, and then now you can have that economic stability and economic power as a group. So I feel like that's where that change comes from. I really think that's where it comes from.
Right. And that was one of my problems, just wanting to do everything by myself, because I feel like can't nobody do it like how I do, or it won't be done in time or whatever. Just reaching out and just having that help is amazing. So I'm just trying to just work on that.
Right.
So but if you could leave anybody with a piece of advice, even a future drummer or a future whatever, what would you say?
I would say, don't hold yourself back. Don't hold yourself back. I think that's the biggest problem today, especially with people, like all types of people. Like, they hold themselves back, and they know what they need to do to reach greatness, or they don't even try to find that community where that knowledge has already been found. So literally, if you can just it's not about changing the world tomorrow. It's about changing what you can do today to make yourself better each and every day, and you will get to that place where you want to go.
Wow. So where are we going to see you next? What's to come?
So what's to come, as soon as everything clear up, I plan on definitely, my biggest goal right now is getting the Cypher series out of Florida. Well, not to forget Florida, but like get it in different places but Florida, like, get into all these different markets and stuff, and collaborate people on different coasts, and just having that different feel, for the series, and take it from there,
Yeah. Any main goals?
Main goals, I want to definitely master audio engineering.
Yeah.
So I want to engineering and producing. So that's another main goal that I've set for myself, especially for the remainder of the year. I want to be able to produce at high quality.
Right.
So
who do you get with for that?
Who do I get with for that?
Or what do you start to learn?
Well, I start to learn from a couple of my friends who also does producing, kind of learning under their wing, learning what type of equipment that the tricks of the trade and things of that nature. Because right now I'm just kind of limited to my laptop. I haven't really bought anything external. So so it's really going to come down to me just getting that knowledge and then working on it day by day.
Good. Well, that has been Trigga Tray. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Nice meeting
Thank you for having me.
in person.
It's great what you're doing. I forgot to say this, but it's really a great thing what you're doing. Like, I remember looking at you on Instagram and all the people that you reached out to, and that's what I'm all about as well. Just what you're doing on a day to day. You're bettering everyone that comes on here. I've had people collaborate on songs because they both saw me on their series, and saw themselves on my series. Right. So that's where it really comes down to. I'm really just trying to build that community of artists, because a lot of artists don't have that avenue or that platform, and I'm just trying to be that as well.
Right. So you're in other words, kind of like a one-stop shop in a way.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So people just come to your page just to.
Yeah, definitely. You can see what's going on, especially in South Florida. You can see so much different talent on my page, and it's a great thing because there's so much talent in South Florida, and it goes beyond what you just hear on the radio every day. There's definitely some great creatives out here, for sure.
It's like we don't even know. Like Instagram is a good platform, but just to have like all these people condensed on this one page is amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So like, and that's the greatest part of it. I think that's literally like the greatest part. Just that, so how many people I can put other people onto, just through this drum, you know.
So one more question: what has come out of this, like as far as collabs?
So like I said, but for other people, like I've definitely have seen people collaborate on music together. Live shows, you know what I'm saying? I've seen people be able to reach out to each other and things like that. And I've actually done some shows with some people. And some people, and what's great is when people refer me to other people. And you know, like I said before, I want to also take it beyond the phone screen and actually get out in community and drum and perform and collaborate. And
so would you be open to collaborate with a person of another instrument?
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. I've done that a couple times as well. So I've collaborated with a trumpet player, a couple guitar players, and that's what I want to do as well. I know most of my videos are just me, the person in the drum, but I'm definitely open to, you know, larger ensembles and things of that nature. Any way to collaborate.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Put a bag in his hand, now he gone. Blue check on his eyes, now you very fly. Living in this bitch, I'm certified.